Hello, I'm Rick Stivers with YoungMartin'sReels, and today we're going to be talking about some failures. I went to an estate sale last weekend, and I managed to pick up 80 plus reels for like $20. And I picked them up pretty much sight unseen, untested. I didn't really care what kind of condition they were in. At 25 cents a piece, you're not getting hurt. So these are the 5 404s that I managed out of the batch to clean up, put together, and have functional. So these I'm going to be moving out the door, finding them a new home. This, on the other hand, is the pieces parts that I managed to put together. This one here, I just didn't like the looks of the paint on it. It's got some kind of paint. I don't know, it looks like spray paint dripped on it or something. But this reel here, I was unable to fix, or I've decided not to fix anyway, because of this post right here. There's supposed to be a spring wire that comes across right here. Hang on a second. There should be a spring right here that comes under the drag wheel, and that provides the tension for your drag, and it's mounted by this plastic post right here. Well, this one, it snapped off. The post is gone, and so is the spring. So I decided this one was not economically feasible. Now, I do have a spring that I could put in there, and I could probably drill it out and put a bolt in place and go through all that, but I've decided that this reel just isn't worth that kind of effort. So that's fail number one for the weekend. Next on my repair list was these Zebco 202s. They're nice little reels. This is, I believe, is the oldest one. Couldn't tell you the age of the rest of them, but they're nice reels. I like the 202. I've done a video on how to repair them. These three were able to return to service, so they'll be moving on out the door here soon. This 202, however, has met its demise due to a break in the frame right here. See where it's cracked through? Right here. And if you put tension on this, that opens and closes right there. And this 222, which I have not been able to find any difference between a 222 and a 202 at all, but it also has the same fracture in the frame right there. It goes all the way across to here. Yep, see there? Yeah. And so that was the demise of these two. So they became parts reels. The next group of repairs I had was this Zebco 2030, and this one I haven't done yet. I'm getting ready to do the video on this for Tommy, and these are pretty simple reels. They work just like the 2020s. They're just a little bit bigger now, but I did have a 2030 that I took apart that also ended up in the scrap pile or parts pile. These are the parts that's left. Unfortunately, I don't have the part that I threw away. The rest of it is all in pretty good shape. What I did need to take out of this, and I ended up putting it into this one, is the anti-reverse ratchet pawl. It was missing completely. Somebody had taken this one apart and put it together incorrectly. They had all the drag washers underneath the spool, and the anti-reverse was missing out of it. Now this reel, the reason I scrapped it for parts is someone had taken this reel and used it in salt water. And what had happened is the spool and the spinner head on it were completely deteriorated away. Even after trying to clean it, the spool was so pitted that any line dragging over it would just instantly be cut. So I scrapped it and threw it away, and that was the demise of this one. Can you use a reel like this for salt water? Yeah, but as soon as you get done in that salt water, you better get it home and get it taken apart and cleaned up. Never leave it like that. It took me, I know, an hour and a half just to try to get the reel apart and try to get the parts off of it. So that was the demise of this reel. Someone used it probably one time in salt water and left it in there, and that was all it took to completely deteriorate everything inside it. Now, it did still have good gears. The gears were good. So I will be able to use those perhaps in another one. The drag knob I actually installed on this one over here for Tommy. Tommy's reel, when I got it, it appeared that someone had dropped it and sheared one ear or one leg off of the star drag. So I took the one out of this one and I managed to get it cleaned and cleaned it up. Got enough corrosion off of it and everything, got it cleaned up and installed it on this reel. And now this one works perfectly fine, but I'm still got to do the rebuild on this one for Tommy. So you'll be seeing that video coming up soon. Another success story that I had for the day was these two Z22s. Now I'm not going to do a video on those because I've already done a video on the Z22. They're a lot like a Zebco 202. They're similar, however, there's no drag in them. They don't have a drag mechanism. They're smooth, they're nice running reels, but there is no drag. And I'm just not partial to a reel with no drag. You get that big fish on, and if you're using a light line and he hits it hard, it's gone. So it does have the anti-reverse. So then again, and say if you disabled the anti-reverse, then if a big hit fish, maybe you could, kind of let go of it and try to bust your knuckles a few times letting it roll out. But I'm just not a big fan of reels without drag. Yeah. I also was able to do the 606, cleaned it up a little bit. I didn't try to clean it up a lot. I did shoot a little paint on the center because it was completely bare of all paint. Cleaned it up, relubed it. It's ready to go back out. So we're going to be moving it on. But there was a 600 that I got, and I was actually very excited to see the 600, just like I was the 606, because they're pretty solid reels. But this one, this center section is snapped out. See where it's broken right here? That section is broken. That's what holds the screw, and that's what the screw is what holds the covers. So there's the screw assembly with the piece that broke out of it. So this one here is going to retire and become a parts reel also. So what did we have total? I guess I repaired probably 15 reels, and I had 4 or 5 total failure pieces that had to be moved on to parts reels. So at 25 cents a piece, I'm still doing okay. And for now, that's Rick Stivers. This is Young Martin's Reels signing out.